Welcome to 17 News, your quick update on everything happening with 17. Usually we cover a full week, or even more, of updates, but this video will only include the last 5 days because, trust me, so much has happened in Carrotland. From unexpected announcements to multiple controversies and heated discussions online, this has probably been one of the most chaotic weeks the group has had in a long time. So get comfortable, because we have a lot to talk about. And before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest 17 news and updates. Starting with upcoming group activities, the members recently shared photos of themselves practicing for their Japan fan meeting, which is officially the next major group event. For many fans, this could also become one of the final large-scale schedules for some of the members before their military enlistment period begins. Japan fan meeting will take place across 4 dates. The performances on the 13th and 14th will be streamed live in movie theaters across Japan, while the shows on the 23rd and 24th will also be available through Weverse and selected cinemas across multiple Asian countries. The members also held a live stream celebrating their 4,000th day since debut. During the live, they talked about how they'll soon have their monthly OT13 gathering, and for newer Carrots who may not know, every single month the members intentionally choose one day where all 13 of them match their schedules and spend time together privately. No cameras, no staff, no company involvement, just themselves. Usually, one member takes charge each month and plans a theme or activity for everyone. This time, they revealed they want to go to an amusement park together and are even considering making it a full costume or cosplay-themed gathering. The members later opened posts on Weverse asking Carrots to send cosplay suggestions and ideas. And somehow the situation became even funnier because brands and companies started joining the conversation too, including Crunchyroll, one of the biggest anime streaming platforms in the world, which started interacting with fans and suggesting cosplay ideas as well. Now moving into what is probably the biggest news of the entire week, the military enlistment situation for the remaining members. The spoiler actually came directly from Hoshi during an interview uploaded on his military taekwondo team's account. When he was asked to send encouraging messages to the members who still haven't enlisted yet, Hoshi casually responded, "The members who haven't enlisted yet will probably do so during the second half of this year." And that one sentence completely exploded across the fandom. A lot of Carrots had originally assumed that the younger members would wait until 2027, since technically several of them still have time left before needing to enlist. But now, everything seems to point toward the remaining Korean members gradually beginning enlistment throughout the second half of 2026 instead. Surprisingly, instead of making fans overwhelmingly sad, the reaction online became extremely emotional and positive. Because if this timeline ends up being true, it means OT13 could potentially reunite fully on stage again by 2028, instead of closer to 2030, which is what many fans had mentally prepared themselves for. Fans also feel reassured because throughout this enlistment era, the group has continuously proven they can remain incredibly active through solos, units, subunits, acting projects, variety appearances, music releases, and individual schedules. And honestly, if there's any group capable of surviving military era creatively, it's probably them. But the story didn't stop there. Hoshi and MINGYU later added even more fuel to the discussion after fans noticed both of them liking Instagram Reels, talking about the group's OT13 return in 2028. So at this point, many fans are basically treating the timeline as unofficially confirmed. And now for probably the most wholesome story of the week. If you remember from previous episodes, we mentioned that Joshua's mother recently opened a yogurt shop in Seoul called Yogurt Brick. Since then, Carrots have constantly been visiting the store and started running into not only Joshua's mom, but the parents of multiple 17 members altogether. Apparently, many of the families gathered there several days, even bringing their pets, and fans witnessing it said the atmosphere felt surreal. The members have mentioned many times before that their parents are all extremely close friends and often spend time together, just like the members themselves do. But this was one of the first times Carrots got to witness that bond directly in public. One Carrot shared that during her first visit, she met the parents of WOOZI, Seungkwan, and Joshua. According to her, WOOZI's mom was especially warm and friendly, personally greeting fans, taking photos with them, and even introducing which parents belonged to which members. On another day, even more families reportedly visited the store, including Wonwoo, JEONGHAN, WOOZI, Hoshi, DK, and Dino's parents. Joshua's and WOOZI's mothers even remembered fans who had visited previously. One fan shared that WOOZI's mom prepared a photo spot for her with Wonwoo's family because she remembered that Wonwoo was her bias. Another funny story involved WOOZI's mom talking about DK and Seungkwan's concert in Daegu. A fan asked if she planned to attend, and she jokingly revealed that there were no tickets left. She then laughed while saying she had complained to WOOZI because she expected him to gift her tickets, and joked that she planned to get revenge once he came home. Fans also couldn't stop talking about how charismatic Dino's dad was, with several people saying they genuinely thought he was a celebrity rather than Dino's father. Another moment that went viral involved carrots hiding their 17 merch because they didn't want the parents to feel uncomfortable or pressured. But WOOZI's mom noticed immediately and kindly told fans there was no need to hide the things they loved. She encouraged them to proudly show their interests. Other fans described WOOZI's mom walking around the cafe, greeting people, sitting beside solo visitors so they wouldn't feel lonely, accepting gifts and snacks to pass along to WOOZI, and even helping nervous fans approach Joshua's mother. Honestly, every single story coming out of Yoga Brick this week has just reinforced what fans always say about 17. The kindness clearly comes from their families. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It genuinely feels like the perfect phrase here. And finally, ending with another achievement, 17 is currently the third most streamed K-pop artist in China right now. The ranking itself became a huge discussion online because the current top 3 includes artists who either haven't released music in a very long time or only recently returned after extended breaks. In 17's case, the group hasn't released an album in over a year, yet their music continues performing incredibly well in China and pulling massive daily streams consistently, which honestly proves once again just how strong 17's fandom and public interest still are globally, even during quieter group eras. Now let's move on to the individual member updates, because there's actually been a lot happening this week. Starting with SCOUPS. As many of you probably remember from previous episodes, he had previously opened up about the condition of his knee and the possibility of needing another surgery to remove the metallic hardware left from his operation. He mentioned that he had been consulting with his medical team and also speaking with other people who went through similar recoveries while deciding what would be best for him long term. This week, he finally updated fans through Weverse and shared that he's been focusing heavily on his health lately. He said he stopped drinking, has been exercising consistently, practicing a lot, working on music, and overall trying to maintain a much healthier lifestyle. He also reassured fans regarding his knee condition, explaining that after another hospital checkup, both his knee and muscles have recovered really well. Because his condition is currently stable, doctors decided that removing the metal rod is not necessary anytime soon. Instead, they recommended that he continue strengthening his leg muscles through exercise. He further explained that the medical hardware can safely remain for years, but ideally should be removed sometime before the 10-year mark in case future knee surgeries are ever needed. Honestly, fans were mainly just relieved hearing that his recovery has been progressing positively, especially knowing how physically and emotionally difficult that injury period was for him. And, as we already mentioned in previous episodes, he recently became the cover star for Esquire Thailand. But now it's also been officially confirmed that he'll appear on additional editions for Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, and the Philippines as well. Moving on to JEONGHAN. A clip from the variety show Miracle Trip, starring JEONGHAN alongside Japanese actor Kento Yamazaki, recently started going viral again across Japanese online communities because of their chemistry together. Fans were happy seeing JEONGHAN trending again because it really highlights how much people miss him during his service period. The good news, though, is that JEONGHAN is finally expected to complete his social service next month. Have you already watched Miracle Trip? And if you did, what was your favorite moment from the show? Let us know in the comments. Joshua recently appeared on Billboard's YouTube channel, where he welcomed their host and interviewer Tetris to Korea for a very relaxed and surprisingly personal interview. Joshua took him to a traditional fish market, introduced him to different Korean foods, and talked openly about several topics fans have been curious about lately. Among the biggest talking points, he discussed his viral Rainy video, the group's contract renewal process, and the musical direction he would want for future solo work, mentioning acoustic music, indie sounds, and songwriting specifically. He also talked about taking acting classes, the kinds of roles he dreams of playing someday, and even how he personally deals with negative comments online. A lot of fans really loved this interview because it felt very calm, genuine, and honestly, extremely Joshua-coded. Jun has officially returned to Korea after finishing his solo schedules in China. During his time there, he participated in the variety show Hello Saturday, and according to rumors currently circulating online, he may have also just completed filming a brand new movie project that still hasn't been officially announced yet. And honestly, the timing of his return says everything about his work ethic, because fans noticed that almost immediately after landing back in Korea, he headed straight into rehearsals for the upcoming Japan fan meeting. It's honestly impressive how consistently Jun manages to balance both his acting career and idol activities at the same time. Every single year, he somehow continues proving that he's easily one of the busiest members, constantly moving between countries, filming schedules, performances, and group promotions almost non-stop. Hopefully he'll soon get at least a few more relaxed weeks because he truly deserves the rest. The Republic of Korea Army recently uploaded a new vlog-style video on their YouTube channel featuring Hoshi alongside the military taekwondo team. The video gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at how the team prepares for performances, practices together, and spends time during military activities. And honestly, even in military content, fans kept mentioning how naturally entertaining, energetic, and hardworking Hoshi still is. As usual, all the links to the videos mentioned in today's episode will be available in the description below. But that wasn't the only reason Hoshi made headlines this week. It was also reported that he made a donation to the Army's Patriotism, Dedication, and Comrades Love Fund. In his statement, Hoshi shared that after personally experiencing the hard work and sacrifices of soldiers dedicating themselves to the country, his respect for the military deepened even more. He explained that he decided to donate in hopes of honoring his fellow soldiers and providing even small financial support to help them. Now moving into one of the most talked about controversies of the week involving WOOZI and producer Bonjour. The discussion began after Bonjour, the longtime producer behind a huge part of the group's discography, uploaded an Instagram story featuring a collaboration video filmed around 3 weeks ago. The video included producer Timbaland, as well as representatives connected to Suno, an AI music creation software company. Almost immediately, the clip sparked strong reactions online, especially among some fans, because the use of AI in music creation continues to be an extremely divisive topic within the industry. As the conversation spread, WOOZI's name also started getting pulled into the controversy due to his long history working closely with Bonjour on the group's music. However, many fans quickly pushed back against that narrative, arguing that involving WOOZI directly was unfair. Fans pointed out that Bonjour is not only connected to 17, but is also the CEO of his own company and a producer who works with many different artists across the industry. The collaboration video itself was presented entirely from Bonjour's perspective as an individual producer and songwriter, not as a representative of the group. The content focused on Bonjour discussing his own production philosophy. He also talked about what it felt like working alongside his childhood idol Timbaland and collaborating creatively despite language barriers. In fact, neither WOOZI nor 17 were mentioned anywhere in the project. As discourse continued online, one major point kept being repeated throughout the week. People need to separate public figures as individuals instead of automatically assuming everyone who works together shares the exact same opinions, beliefs, or creative decisions. But we want to know what you think about the situation, so let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Now moving on to THE8. He has officially been selected for Tencent Music's 30 Under 30 Young Singer Icon of China 2026 for the second consecutive year, a list recognizing some of the most impactful young artists in the Chinese music industry. But he found himself at the center of one of the biggest online discussions this week. And as many of you probably remember from the previous episode, he also performed for 2 consecutive days at the Midu Music Festival in China. However, only one day after the festival ended, a major controversy suddenly exploded online. When international carrots began watching clips from his set, many noticed a DJ section where THE8 played remixes of multiple global songs. One of the tracks included was Where Are You Going by French DJ and producer Matt Weasel. The issue comes from the fact that the original remix contains a nasheed, which, for those unfamiliar, is a form of Islamic devotional vocal music traditionally centered around religious or spiritual themes, often praising Allah or the Prophet Muhammad. Arabic-speaking and Muslim carrots quickly began informing THE8 online about the meaning behind the vocals and why it felt disrespectful and hurtful to many people. A major point many fans emphasized was that he most likely did not understand the lyrics or religious context behind the sample, especially because the original producer never clearly credited or explained the source material anywhere in the song's title, description, or official credits. Many fans explained that because of the language barrier, someone unfamiliar with Arabic or Islamic context may not have realized what was being used in the remix at all. Unfortunately, as often happens online, the conversation quickly escalated far beyond the original issue. Many hate posts began spreading misinformation while using the controversy to attack both THE8 and the group as a whole. Some viral tweets falsely accused Carrots of trying to hide the incident or erase clips from the performance, when in reality, 17's fans were actually among the very first people publicly discussing the issue and trying to explain why it was hurtful. Fans were also frustrated because several posts began inventing completely unrelated situations to portray the members as intentionally disrespectful toward religion. One example involved people bringing back an old live-streamed clip of Dino completely out of context. Some posts falsely claimed that during Ramadan, Dino had told fans not to fast, spreading captions like, "During the blessed month of Ramadan, a member of 17 warned his fans against fasting." But that's not what happened at all. In the original livestream, Dino was simply doing a mukbang while responding to fans, who were commenting that they were starving themselves or skipping meals for dieting purposes and weight loss. At the time, he expressed concern that constantly avoiding food or extreme fasting could be unhealthy for some people. And honestly, many fans pointed out that this conversation had absolutely nothing to do with religion. It was specifically about unhealthy dieting culture, something that has become increasingly normalized within K-pop spaces recently. In fact, many idols in recent years have openly talked about extreme diets or even encouraged fans not to eat in order to stay thin, which has only fueled the already serious eating disorder culture that exists throughout the industry. That's why many fans were frustrated seeing Dino's words twisted into something completely unrelated to the original context of the livestream. As the controversy continued growing, several hate posts containing misinformation reached millions of views online, and many people outside the fandom started forming a very negative image of THE8 based on distorted or incomplete information. The overall feeling from many Muslim and Arab carrots was that using the remix was hurtful and deserved criticism, while also recognizing that it most likely happened unintentionally and out of ignorance rather than hatred. Many emphasized that educating THE8, asking him to be more careful, and holding him accountable respectfully was completely reasonable, but that spreading hate, misinformation, or labeling him as Islamophobic without evidence was crossing the line. Many Muslim fans also expressed frustration, seeing people who clearly didn't care about Islam suddenly weaponizing the religion purely as an excuse to spread hate toward the members. And before ending this topic, I also want to personally clarify something. I myself do not speak Arabic, and I'm not part of the Muslim community, so if I made any mistakes while explaining the situation or the religious context, I sincerely apologize. Everything shared in this section was based on explanations, discussions, and comments from Muslim and Arabic-speaking carrots themselves, many of which were shown on screen throughout the video to help provide context on why the concerns were valid and why this became such a serious discussion online. We want to know what you think about the situation, so let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Moving on to the next members. A brand new commercial featuring MINGYU for Isaac Toast was recently shown during KekiCon Japan. One moment from the DK and Seungkwan tour recently went viral for a very concerning reason. A video began spreading online showing a fan appearing to attempt to remove DK's ring while he was greeting fans up close near the stage. The 17 rings hold a very deep meaning. They are custom rings shared only between the 13 members and have symbolized their bond for nearly 10 years now. Because of that, many fans heavily criticized the behavior shown in the clip, calling it disrespectful and an abuse of the members' kindness, especially because the members constantly go out of their way to interact closely with fans during concerts. A lot of carrots also pointed out that in recent months, fans have started noticing some members occasionally removing their rings during concerts or public schedules, which has now led many people to believe situations like this may unfortunately be happening more often than fans initially realized. But on a much more positive note, rookie idol JEONGHAN recently shared a very sweet story about him during a live stream with fans. He revealed that before debuting, he used to work part-time at a car wash. One day, he happened to visit while he and others trainees were working. According to JEONGHAN, DK noticed how hard they were working and kindly encouraged them. He even gave them snacks and drinks from his own car before leaving. JEONGHAN later met DK again backstage at a music show after debuting, and he admitted the experience stayed with him for a long time. He said seeing DK's kindness made him think, I want to become that kind of person too. And honestly, stories like this about DK continue to appear everywhere in the industry, which really says a lot about the kind of reputation he has among younger idols and staff members. Seungkwan recently shared a poem on his Instagram story that cleverly referenced multiple songs by LE SSERAFIM. Shortly after, both Chaewon and Yoonchae reposted the story, which immediately made fans suspect they had been filming together for Seungkwan's show, something that is expected to be released soon. And speaking of Seungkwan's variety activities, The Wonder Coach, where he appears as part of the main cast managing a women's volleyball team, officially won the Best Variety Show Award at the 62nd Baeksang Arts Awards. Even more exciting, the producer confirmed during the acceptance speech that Season 2 will officially air later this year. So congratulations to the entire cast and production team. However, Seungkwan also found himself dragged into another online controversy this week involving misinformation that has unfortunately circulated for years. A social media account brought up multiple K-pop idols accused of saying the N-word, a highly offensive racial slur historically used against black people, and included Seungkwan among them using an old clip as proof. But the clip in question has already been debunked multiple times over the years. In the original video, Seungkwan was singing along to Rush by Monsta X, specifically trying to rap an English verse from the song. He mispronounced the words, my girl, and because of the unclear pronunciation, some people heavily distorted the context and began spreading the clip online as if it were lost media, or deleted footage of him saying the slur. However, the original unedited video is still easily available online, and the full context behind the moment can be clearly heard when watching the actual clip. Many fans expressed frustration seeing the misinformation continue spreading, despite the original video already being publicly accessible for years. Vernon made a brief appearance in a recent vlog uploaded by influencer and singer Sofia, who is also his sister. In the vlog, Sofia was documenting herself shaving her hair when Vernon suddenly called her, and fans got to see her reaction during the cute sibling moment.
Oh, my brother's calling me!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait, and your hair is like fully shaved now.
오빠! 오빠 뭐해?
나 작업.
영통 돼?
조금 해봐.
아 그래?
왜?
나 머리 밀었어.
너 머리 밀었다고?
아 지금 밀고 있어.
밀었어?
소리 들려?
지금 밀고 있어? 와, 레전드다. 진짜 너 내 동생이 맞구나? 대박인데? Well, like, what's the occasion?
아니 오늘 we were looking at like tattoo ideas or like piercing ideas, and then this photo of three girls with buzz cuts popped up on my friend's Pinterest, and I was like, wait, what if I did that today?
Damn, you look like a thumb. Like a hairy thumb.
Wait.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, we need to do
You're
a shorter
crazy.
one. Yeah, we need to
Wow.
do a shorter
좀
one.
더. 와.
You want us to line you up?
대박이다, 진짜로. 와.
Like
Okay,
a
so I wanted to show
dandelion.
you that.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on looking like a thumb.
Thank you. So nice.
엄마 모르지 아직?
아빠는 모르고 엄마는 한다고 말만 했어.
아빠 반응이
You need to
볼만하겠네.
take a shower.
그러니까. Yeah, I
Another
definitely do.
더 짧게 해도 될 것 같은데?
Okay.
He's in the back.
Okay, thanks.
잘 밀어.
고마워.
오케이.
Fans also received updates regarding the movie K-Pops, where Vernon makes a cameo appearance. The film, which premiered in US theaters a few months ago, is now officially scheduled to arrive on Netflix on May 30th. However, it will only be available in select regions for now, rather than globally. And finally, wrapping up the individual member updates with Dino. The variety show Bonjour Bakery has officially premiered with his participation, and fans can currently watch it on Viki. The Healing Style program brings together several celebrities from the entertainment industry as they temporarily run a bakery in a rural town for elderly residents. Dino appears as a special guest on the show after one of the permanent cast members had to temporarily step away from filming for a short period. Fans have really been enjoying seeing this softer and more relaxed side of him, especially because the show's warm atmosphere fits Dino's personality. Now moving into the unit updates. SCOUPS and MINGYU unit recently sent a greeting message to Asia Top Festival, where it was officially confirmed that the duo will be closing the festival on May 31st with a 45-minute set. And finally, THE8 and Vernon have officially started appearing in dance challenges with other idols, which also means that many artists have already filmed challenges for the upcoming unit release behind the scenes. So now fans are even more excited, waiting to see which idols will participate once promotions fully begin. The two members also shared a Spotify playlist featuring their current favorite songs, giving fans what feels like possible hints toward the musical inspirations and overall vibe behind their upcoming album. So let us know in the comments, which idol would you like to see doing the THE8 challenge once promotions officially begin? And that's all for today's video. If you'd like to support the channel, you can find the Ko-fi and PayPal links in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next 17 News.